It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes. We need to do more.
We are the outlaws.
Great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the very first pole position qualifying session of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship, live from Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates. My name is Stuart Borro, and I will be taking you through this very first bit of action from this brand new championship season. And as we can see, the XCATs lining up, getting ready to take to the water for the very first time competitively this year. A few updates for you, just in case you haven't been glued to the XCAT news of late. We have a brand new team that have joined the XCAT paddock, and they are Energima. So a regular face of Erik Sundblad Johansson returns to the championship after agonisingly missing out in 2024, and he is joined by the legend that is Marit Stromoy. She is no stranger to competitive power boating, and it is incredible to see her as part of our paddock. And we've had some crew changes, a few swaps, a few that are the same, but Sharjah, boat number 9, returns to the water with the legend that is Sean Tarenti, the American, rejoining the XCAT Championship for 2025. The rest of the 10-boat team look familiar to some, but excitingly different to others. So we have Swecap returning with Sebastian Groth and Mikkel Benton. He is back in a boat that he knows all so well. And Victory, the team from the UAE, from Dubai, they're not just back, they are double back. Victory entering 2 XCATs. The familiar faces of Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali, who we got very up close and personal with last year, finishing 3rd. They are joined by new face Ahmed Al-Fahim, who's new to the championship, and Gary Ballo, a name that, if you are a fan of the powerboat scene, a name that you will be all too familiar with. And there is our defending 2024 UIM XCAT World Champions, Rosario and Giuseppe Schiano di Cola, hot in pursuit of the 2023 champions, Team GB, Scott Williams and Martin Campbell. back in their familiar roles in the cockpit of boat number 8. And so as we head into the first pole position qualifying session of this championship season, just a quick reminder that we have got a 30-minute session. There is no limits on the number of laps that teams can go through other than the time itself. You cannot change or touch your XCAT in any way, shape or form. No propeller changes and certainly no refueling. It's a lovely balmy 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit here in the waters of the Gulf of Oman in Fujairah in the UAE. It is a beautiful time to go XCATing. And there you can just see the two Mercury ROS Racing Engine 400s of Sharjah. Boat number 10. Number 9, I should say. Getting ahead of myself by a place. Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Tarenti, as I say, back in the championship. And we will talk more about that pairing as the year goes on, no doubt. There we can see the new boat number 33, the Victory team. Ahmed Al-Fahim and Gary Ballo. And there, Sharjah. Now, I made mention of the two Mercury ROS engines for good reason. We are trialling a new set of engines for the 2025 World Championship. And it's the XCAT just heading out the port side of your screen that will be trialling a new set of Mercury 300 engines. And I'll have a chat about that a little later on. But the 30-minute timer is go. And we will see just what type of strategy these XCAT crews decide to adopt. They could all go out there one at a time, or more than likely, because of the 30-minute top and tail, they will try and find some clean water. And HPI Fujairah Racing. So just a reminder, they were the 2024 UIM XCAT World Champions. They come into this as defending champions. Giuseppe arriving in time for this. And we were talking earlier in the paddock just about the fact that they are struggling with propellers at the moment. It seems to be a common theme up and down the paddock today. And boat number 96 running the American-made Doug Wright hull. So slightly different to most of their Emirati compatriots. And there you can see Fujairah blazoned on the side of that 96 as they are proudly supported by the host nation today. Now the race course here is familiar to those of you who are XCAT aficionados. It is a regular into the breakwater round and then back out into the loop. You can see quite the rooster spray there from Rosario and Giuseppe. And they will be hopeful that that isn't an indication of an issue. It's very bright. You can see the sunshine already. It'll be very hot in those cabins, which is not something that they're going to want to sit in for too long. Lovely amount of balance actually out of that 96 boat. And perfectly weighted. Well, certainly from our view in the sky appears that way. So Fujairah hosting the opening round of the XCAT World Championship. The second year in a row. It's wonderful to be back. And on this, of all days, Valentine's Day, we're hoping that you fall in love with the XCAT World Championship all over again. It's been a month and a half, nearly 2 months, since HPI Fujairah Racing were crowned world champions. But this year there are a number of contenders. Everybody goes into this opening round with the equal opportunity to win it. XCAT, who came second last year just by 6 solitary points, they will be looking to go one step further. Sebastian Groth and Michael Betson, they are back to challenge and get one step further up. I've got to say, boat number 2, XCAT, looking very, very good outside of the water and starting to look measured inside of the water. It's going to take a little while for Seba and Michael to get to grips with each other. It's a new pairing. Erik Sundblad Johansson, of course, who was in the number 2 last year, but all change this year as the first few XCATs put down their competitive timed laps. We've had 2 across that checkered buoy line so far here in Fujairah, and we're looking at boat number 7 of Victory with a 2:32.8 and Team GB with a 2:33.8. There's still a long way to go, 20 plus minutes of this championship opening pole position qualifying session to go, but it is the defending champions HPI Fujairah Racing Team of the 3 XCATs that have placed a competitive time who top that trio at the moment with a 2:31.4. So it goes HPI Victory Team boat number 7 and Team GB in 3rd. We of course still have more XCATs that are milling in the racecourse, waiting to give themselves an opportunity to start this championship as they mean to go on. Now, I mentioned earlier that we've seen some changes, but something that doesn't seem to ever change is the fact that Rosario and Giuseppe will be together fighting for a championship. Will they retain the championship title? Or will it go to a brand new contender? And maybe we'll see the XCAT of boat number 8, Team GB, that's just shot past our drone. Will they wrestle the championship title back from HPI Fujairah Racing Team? The beautiful thing about this part of the season is that it is open and all to play for. And there is boat number 9, Sharjah, absolutely charging across the timing buoys there, ready to start that timing line. Very exciting to see them back with Sean and Mikhail in the cockpit. And there we have Rahib from Q8, boat number 17. If you were watching last year, you were seeing Q8 oils emblazoned on the side. Now, Abdulatif Alamani, Khalid Ali, very experienced crew, and they are not just an experienced crew from a driving perspective, they are now leading the way for innovation. On the back of boat number 17 there, you have 2 Mercury 300 R engines. They are exploring the kinetic impact of these slightly smaller, slightly lighter, slightly less powered engines to see the impact that they have on an XCAT. Now, there has been certain changes as a result of that, and the weight for the XCAT, minimum weight for the XCAT, has been lowered for Q8 by 200 kilos down to 2,200 kilograms, just 200 less than every other minimum weight the XCAT's running. All in the name of sustainability and innovation. I'm very, very interested to see how their 2025 goes this year. Just to see if the differences make any sizable impact on their ability to compete at the very top end. It certainly looks more sprightly across the top of the waves, as the team managers, all clustered at the end of the breakwater, look nervously on just to see how their teams and their crews wrestle with the waters off of Fujairah here in the very opening round of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship season. There you see boat number 33, the second victory XCAT out there on the water. Ahmed Al Fahim, Gary Ballo out there together competitively. Wonderful sight. Gary has got over 30 national and international titles, so he knows a thing or two about racing on water. Another name that is brand new for this championship season. We didn't see him in 2024, and they are just sizing up the course, sizing up what they need to do to be competitive. We know Victory can put in, as a team, extraordinarily competitive vessels. We know that. They are tried and tested. And so with two in the water, we should see something very, very special throughout the course of 2025. Victory's team manager looking steely on. Even behind those rather snazzy glasses, we can tell that he is pinpoint accurate. As Ahmed and Gary fire their 33 towards the timing beacon, they will be looking to better their 240 and 900ths of a second that they grabbed earlier. And this represents final corners here. And we shall see if they do any better. Now, just a full run through of the crews that are at least registered to take part in this opening weekend. We've got XCAT Faz Marine, Victory Team, boat number 7 of Salim Al-Adili Nasser Al-Ali. Team GB, Sharjah, who are leading this pole position qualifying session with a 2:30. Rahib, boat number 17. Blue Banker, who we are yet to see go out there and post a time. Victory Team, boat number 33, who we've just been watching and been on board with, which is lovely. Currently sitting in 5th with a 2:37 900ths per second. Enerjima, who I have spotted in the team managers area, so I don't think they're going to be quite ready to take part in this pole position qualifying session. Nonetheless, so Eric and Marit sitting out of this one. But hopefully we'll see them tomorrow, or even in the Speed Cat run that is coming later. And then HPI Fujairah Racing Team. The XCAT that is on your screens right now, Rosario Schiano de Colla, Giuseppe Schiano de Colla, the brothers from Naples, who are the defending champions. They're currently sat in 2nd with a 2:31 and 400ths of a second. They are on course to at least finish in the top 3 as it stands, but there's still a lot of water to be traversed, a lot of pole position to be decided. They are over a second shy of boat number 9, Sharjah, of Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Torrenti. They will be desperately looking to see where they can make up that time. Rosario and Giuseppe's father there, who was absolutely elated at the end of 2024, as you can imagine, for being world champions. Watching nervously on as HPI Fujairah Racing Team are now looking to go across the timing, boys. Will they post a better time, a more competitive time? We will wait to find out. That was their timing started. You're now on board live with their hot lap. Laps, of course, unlimited in this half an hour session. The only thing that the crews can't do is pop back to the pontoon and play with their propellers. This first pole position session, as nervy, as tension filled as we were hoping. You can't win or lose a championship on the first rounds, but you can certainly put a marker down in the sand. That is for sure. And if you're brand new to XCAT, then thank you very much for coming along. Welcome to what will be, if not one of your best, then the best sporting decisions of your 2025. We saw the title lead change hands in the second to last round last year. Boat number 2, Swecat, were leading the whole way until we got to Saudi Arabia, when the Italian duo of Rosario and Giuseppe Scannaviccola managed to overhaul them, winning eventually by just 6 points. And we saw Team GB there, flying under our airborne camera, taking pole position as it stands, with 12 minutes left of this pole position qualifying session, pipping by just 0.02 of a second, just shy of that, Sharjah. And there's Blue Banker, boat number 20. They are out onto the race course. Out there, strutting their stuff. Serafino Baralessi, Andrea Comelo, out there looking to post as best a time as they can find. They did take part in a number of rounds in 2024 and they were competitive, and it is wonderful to see them right at the start of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship season. Intrigued to see just what they can get out of that boat number 20. We've had a bit of run time yesterday, a bit of run time this morning. I think it's important to note that while the conditions right now are warm and steamy, but the water is relatively flat, the race tomorrow, the first race, the opening race of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship, is later in the day, and so the conditions could well be sizably different by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, which is when the first race of this weekend will take place. 3 o'clock local time, of course, depending where you're watching this in the world. First of all, thanks for tuning in on what is a very special day for most of us, and if not, then let us be your special people. And there we see Blue Banker, boat number 20, shooting across your screens as these XCAT crews try desperately to outdo each other on this opening qualifying session of 2025. Blue Banker looking very flat there, actually. Throttling down, but not as much as you might expect. Nice little starboard turn. Mr. Tail's looking a bit aggressive there. Certainly the camera angle. And if you're wondering what those yellow buoys are, that is to denote that if you go past those buoys, it's going to get rather shallow, so probably best you don't. As Blue Banker come across the timing line in 7th position with a 2:38 and 400ths of a second. Serafino and Andrea putting in a competitive first lap of this 2025 championship season. Wonderfully done there. The duo from Italy. Strong Italian representation this year. And there's Sharjah back out. Currently sat in second with a 2:30. And you can tell they're pushing it. They are bobbling, but they're keeping it right on the ragged edge there. Sean Torrenti, spectacularly back in this championship, and we are happy to have him alongside Mikhail Kitashev, who has also been remarkably successful last year. Sharjah managing to be competitive as it looks like they've really fired down that back straight, but they've throttled right back coming into the final turns of this course. We've got just shy of 8 minutes left of this pole position qualifying session. As it stands, 2023 champions Team GB are leading the way. They had a remarkably successful end to 2024, and I'm sure we'll dive deeper into that across the races. But here comes Sharjah, boat number 9. They're not going to better their time. I suspected that they had throttled down just a little too much at the end there. They must have thought, well, we're not going to beat it, so there's no point strangling these Mercury ROS 400 engines any more than we need to. But the timer starts now for boat number 9. We're into the first 10 seconds of this lap. They are pushing hard. These XCATs regularly hitting over 100 kilometers an hour as an average speed. So imagine what the crews are subjected to inside the cockpits. There you can see there the on-land support crew of Sharjah watching their team head on, and that looks like one of the victory team just throttling right back. Are they still in the race course? Because if they are, this is going to put pay to a number of competitive laps. I can't quite see what number that is. Do I hazard a guess? I don't think I'm going to. I mean, they've throttled right back. They do still seem to have motion though, so they should be able to get out of the way. The team of victory looking concerned as we head to Faz Marine of Dubai in the UAE. You can see Fly Free emblazoned on the side of their number 3. It's a new setup in there this year. Arif Al-Safane we will all be familiar with. He is now on board with Francis Nocella, who, if you were watching last year, you will remember the Belgian from boat number 88. Well, he put his transfer in, and it is now Francis and Arif in boat number 3 of Faz Marine. You can just see Ragesh there, Faz Marine's team manager, on the blower, talking them through. This pairing have really hit the ground running. Francis and Arif both know what they're doing here. Now, boat number 3 is a Faz Marine hull and was new to our championship as a whole last year, but they did remarkably well. They'll enjoy these waters here. You can just see how small and nimble this number 3 is. They are absolutely flying at the moment. They're going to run into a bit of traffic. HPI Fujairah Racing Team is ahead of them on a bit of a go slow. Faz Marine there. Wonderfully done. Francis, hand on the throttle. Arif just pointing it where it needs to go. Very, very quick still. Very, very quick still. This Emirati-Belgian combo looking to put in a real marker in this first pole position qualifying session of 25. Just a great turn there, like they so often do, boat number 3. They're just right on the edge of what the minimum length is. They are super, super nimble. I always enjoy watching Faz do their thing. They really are something different to watch on your screens. Their timer is now well and truly being watched. They posted a 2:35 and 800th of a second, which put them in 8th position. And there we have Sharjah. They look relatively comfortable in second, but they don't want to settle for that. They've got Team GB in their sights. They're not a million miles away up the road. Just shy of 200ths of a second. Team GB sit in pole. But Sharjah looking to start this championship season as they mean to go on. They are firing up behind Team GB, which is the XCAT you can see in your screens. And Sharjah flying through, flirting with the boys as they enter the final corner of this race course. Who will be giving pole position the look of love on this Valentine's Friday? Sharjah look beautifully poised actually out there on the water, like a pedigree dog. They really do. They're not gonna beat their previous time. They're not far off though. There was a 2:31 from Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Sorrenti. Sean, who has spectacularly come back after spending 2024 out of powerboating in general, actually, competitively. But he is back in XCAT. I remember seeing him in 2021 when we first all came back, and it was fantastic. Sharjah looking great, sat in second, but what a second. So close to that first position that is currently being held by Team GB, boat number 8, the 2023 World Champions. We're about to enter the final minute of this first qualifying pole position session of 2025. And there you can just see in the haze of the Fujairah sun this morning, Sharjah still not happy with second. Boat number 9 gliding, just a little wobble, port to starboard. Look how close they are. Now Fujairah, if you're not careful, that water will bite back. We saw that last year with Team GB during the opening pole position qualifying session of 2024. They ended up the wrong way up. So you need to treat this water here off Fujairah with respect. It can catch you off guard. Sharjah out of the woods now from that respect because they're back behind the breakwater. The checkered flag has been waved. So this will be as close as you're going to get to the final standings of this opening pole position session. Team GB there. Scott Williams, Martin Campbell. Our pole position sitters for now. They did the double in Saudi Arabia. They came first and second in Dubai in our closing rounds of 2024. The 2023 champions picking up where they left off. There are still a few times to be posted. I wouldn't want to get ahead of myself. But Team GB sitting on top of the pile in 2025. A fantastic effort from Scott and Martin. The missiles from the Mersey. The Liverpool lads. Adi Falsafane and Francis Nocella there just finishing up their qualifying session here. Looking good, looking really good, in fact. They've throttled down, heading over the finishing line here. And they are in 6th. Not a bad return for Arif and Francis, given the whole fact that they are brand new to each other. Ragesh will be happy. So there we have it, pole position qualifying, the first and opening qualifying session of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship. The checkered flag has been waved, and we have our first standings of 2025. Team GB in first. Sharjah, as you can see there. Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Torrenti sitting in second. There was next to nothing in it. Defending champions, boat number 96, HPI Fujairah Racing in third. In fourth, we have Victory, boat number 7 of Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali. Blue Banker in fifth, boat number 20, a fantastic turn in there. Faz Marine in sixth. Boat 33 of Victory Team in 7th. I suspect that is the XCAT that we'll need a looking at, as it looked very slow towards the end there. So a good result for Ahmed Al-Fahim and Gary Ballo. Swecat in 8th. There'll be a post-mortem there. 2:38. They will certainly want to know what happened there. And then Q8, Rahib, boat number 17 in 9th. Of course, experimenting. So, as we say hello to the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship, it is time to say goodbye to the opening qualifying session, and it is Team GB who will start tomorrow's first race of this 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship in pole position. Thank you very much for joining us for this opening qualifying, and we will see you tomorrow for the first live race of 2025.